Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for clicking on this Rank the Movies video. We've done Nicolas Cage, good or bad. And now that I'm done talking about Nicolas Cage and Community, I've decided to talk about something I don't talk about that often on the channel, and that is kids movies. So for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to talk about 2 kids movies a week. And yeah, that's how I'm going to spend the rest of February. Talking family films, kids movies. Yeah, I don't have a third thing. I was going to say movies for the whole family, but that kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm going to do 2 kids movies each week. This week I've decided to start with Disney. It's not going to be a studio-based thing each week. It just so happens that 2 of the movies I picked were both Disney, and I decided I'll put those together because, you know, they're both Disney movies. So to start with, I have a true Disney classic, in my book anyways, and that is a Goofy movie. I love a Goofy movie. This is probably one of my favorite Disney films. It ranks pretty high up there. It's not one of those well-known Disney films either, mainly because it's it's not one of the big Disney tentpole movies. This was just a little film. They released. Yes, I actually joined the Disney Movie Club to get a Blu-ray copy of this movie. So yeah, that's how much I like this movie. Is I had to buy more Disney Blu-rays and get that thing every month saying, "Oh, here's the featured title that you're gonna reject because it's not worth it." I'm not going on a rant about the Disney Movie Club here, but yeah, I joined it so I could get this on Blu-ray because that's how much I really like this movie. It's a simple movie. It's a continuation of the show Goof Troop. It isn't a direct continuation. It does take some liberties with the Goof Troop characters and ideas. One, it ages up Max and Pete. Instead of them being children, they're now more high school age. They're not more high school age kids. And it kind of cuts out the rest of Pete's family. His wife, Peg, and their daughter, Pistol. And I can't believe how much of that I know because I didn't do research before I started this review on Goof Troop. But yeah, those characters aren't here. Peg and Pistol aren't here. It's just focuses on Goofy and Max, and then Pete and his son, whose name is the one I can't remember. It's the one who's actually in this movie. Goofy and Max, and then it's Pete, and Max's best friend is, maybe it's on packaging. I doubt it. I'm wasting so much time. Wreaks Havoc, Road Trip. Yeah, it's not gonna tell me because for some reason my brain is just not letting me. Again, Peg and Pistol, 2 characters from a TV show I haven't watched in years. I remember those. Pete's son, Max's best friend. My brain is just like hee 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 ha 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 ha. You don't get to know it. You don't get to know it. Ha ha ha. Anyways, but they're both more high school age. And Pete and Goof work together at a photography studio where Goofy's really good with the little kids, and Pete's Pete, and he's velcroing children so they can't move. It's a great scene. They're talking about, kids going bad, troubled teens, all that kind of stuff. And Goof's going, no, Max can never be that. Max can never be that. The problem is it's the last day of school before summer vacation, and Max has decided to impress the girl of his dreams, Roxanne. Why can't I remember the kid's name? Roxanne. He is going to do a lip sync in costume as Powerline, everyone's favorite musician. And so he goes out, and he has one of his other friends, who's actually, at this one I don't know. I just know it's Pauly Shore who does the voice, and I think that's all anyone cares about is that it's Pauly Shore's voice for this other character who's obsessed with Cheese Whiz. Is setting up kind of so that they can display it on a screen and do some cool things with Max just being on the screen doing Powerline moves and dress as Powerline. Eventually Max trips and finds himself on the actual stage, interrupting the principal's farewell speech for the, summer break. And eventually Max gets caught right before he's going to actually make his move with the girl of his dreams. He gets caught, and Goofy gets a call saying that his son is in trouble because of what he's done, and that is and that sends Goofy into this spiral of is Max going to end up being a troubled teen and end up in jail and on a bad path? So Goofy decides to take his son on a cross-country fishing trip, the same kind his father took him on when he was a kid. The problem with this is Max has worked up the nerve to ask out Roxanne, and is going to be her date at a pay-per-view Powerline concert that is going to be watched at one of the other girls' houses. So now Max, being forced by his father to go on this fishing trip, now has to lie to Roxanne, so she will still like him, but he can get out of being her date by saying that his dad's actually taking him to the Powerline concert and that she should watch him on pay-per-view. This leads Goofy and Max on their road trip where they have many wacky misadventures, running in to Pete and his son along the way. And all the while, Max is trying to figure out how is he not going to look like an idiot when he's not at the Powerline concert. How can Max possibly pull this off? Eventually, Goofy gives Max the map and basically saying, you're the navigator, you tell us where to go, this lake is our destination, so you lead us there. And Max takes that opportunity to actually lead his dad to go to the Powerline concert in LA. They have a big falling out, but eventually Goofy agrees and goes along with it, and Max gets on stage with Powerline. With Goofy, and they actually use Goofy's cast because they're fly fishing as a dance move. And Max gets the girl, and everyone's happy. And Pete can't believe that Goofy's on stage with Powerline, and his son is super happy. And I'm really sad I can't remember the son's name. I'm so close to grabbing my phone and just looking it up because it's gonna drive me nuts. And I still got another movie to cover. I gotta do this. I gotta do this because it's gonna drive me nuts. Because either I've been saying. I think it's Pete Jr. I think it actually is both Pete. I think they're both Pete. Max, Pete, Roxanne, PJ, Pete Jr. I knew it! I'm sitting there the whole time going, Pete. I feel like it's still Pete. I feel like, no, but Pete's the big one. It's PJ. PJ is the friend. I can't believe I couldn't remember PJ. Why? Why couldn't I remember PJ? All this time, PJ. It's PJ. Ugh. Okay, so, the Goofy Movies also is a Disney musical. There's a lot of music in it. I actually have the soundtrack for it. I don't have it to display because it's in a box with all the rest of my CDs. But I do actually have the soundtrack because it's got some really great music. Some of my favorite Disney music is right here in this movie. I love a Goofy movie. It is a great time. Now, I paired a Goofy movie with another Disney classic. This is actually more of the mainstream kind of Disney classic, and that is The Lion King. I mean, and that's kind of why I decided to do two movies, because I feel like there's not a lot you can say about The Lion King. Not because it's not a great movie, it is. It's just so many people have talked about it. You know, it is a very well done animated film. If you go back to my movies from the Unwatched shelf, you can hear me rant about the live action version. I did not care for it. There's a moment where it follows poop. That's what I remember. That was my takeaway from that movie. It eventually follows feces. That's my takeaway from the live action. But the animated one, again, you have great music, great voice acting, and you can't go wrong with it. The story of, you know, Simba being born, being told about his family legacy and that he's going to be the leader, Scar deciding to plot against Mufasa, killing Mufasa, blaming it on Simba, running Simba off, and Simba growing up in the wilderness with Timon and Pumbaa, just to be found by Nala and brought home to confront his uncle Scar. It's a really simple plot because I literally just went through the entire plot of this movie in a couple of quick beats. But it is such a good movie and it's so well done. And again, it's got great music. It is a Disney masterpiece for a reason. And it's definitely one. For some reason, you have never seen The Lion King. I am kind of sorry. Or if you've only seen the live action Lion King, again, I feel for you. That is a hard time because The Lion King is a great Disney movie, and when you just want to sit down and watch it, it is always a good time. And again, it's like between 80 and 85 minutes, so it's not even a long movie. It's not a long, drawn-out experience. You just get to go through it and experience The Lion King. And that was the great thing about Disney animated movies back in the, you know, I think it ended somewhere in the 2000s when they started to actually like be able to see, when they started the CG animation is when they just started to creep longer and longer because it became cheaper and cheaper to animate them. But both of these movies are actually hand animated, so it took a long time and cost a lot of money to do it. So that's why both of them aren't that long of movies. I mean, a Goofy movie, if I can find it on here, I think, again, it's like 80-something, 78 minutes. A Goofy movie is 78 minutes, and The Lion King is 88 minutes. So there's a 10-minute difference between this Disney movie and this Disney movie. Both were theatrical features. It's just, I think Goofy movie came out the same year as a different Disney theatrical film, and now I feel like I just need to quick use my phone again. This is why you do research before you start doing the video, because I feel like, what? No, why am I on the Royal Tenenbaums? Because there's a vague chance. Alright, so Goofy movie came out the year after The Lion King, meaning it was the same year as, I can't remember what Disney movie it came out with. This was not the summer tentpole Disney movie. This was just another movie they released, was a Goofy movie. Well, this was the 1994 summer tentpole movie of Disney. They're both great movies. They both have great music. They're very well animated. And if you've never checked out Lion King, do so. If you've never checked out a Goofy movie, seriously check it out. They both did spawn sequels. Goofy movie has an extremely Goofy movie, which I've never actually seen, so I can't talk about it. And The Lion King spawned The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, and The Lion King 1.5. I don't know if that one has a subscript on it, or if it's just called The Lion King 1.5. They're both fine direct-to-video movies. You just really need the first one. If you got the first one, you're golden. You're set. You know what you got for Lion King. You don't really need more story, but if you want to check out the sequels, go right ahead. If you've seen an extremely Goofy movie and want to tell me if it's as good as the first one or far worse than the first one, please do so. But yeah, that's all I got to say on these two family films. Next week, I'm going to look at 2 more. It's going to be a great time. Check us out. Don't forget to like the video, comment on the video if you got something to say. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss any exciting content that I've got planned for this new year of 2022. And yeah, I'll see you next week. I am Martin Prevost. This is Rank the Movies. I'll see you later.